Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. I'm glad you're able to hop on tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ben, and on Instagram, I'm the work from home couple. Me and my wife do this together, and yeah, we're here tonight. I'm going to be explaining to you how digital marketing works, how affiliate marketing works, the strategy that I've used to create a multi-six-figure business in just a couple hours a day from the comfort of my home, and I'm just a normal person. I'm not, I don't have any fancy degrees. I don't have any fancy tech skills. I just am a hard worker and I'm really good at following instructions. And so I've followed a step-by-step process to set this up and build this business. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like tonight and hopefully answer any questions that you guys have. Um, so just to start off a little bit about my story. I'm an Army veteran. I spent a few years in the Army. After I got out of the Army, I wanted to, one of the reasons I got out of the Army is because I wanted to spend more time with my family. I wanted to be more present with my family and have the freedom to be able to do that. And I tried a lot of different things to accomplish that. Okay. I mean, I got corporate jobs. I tried so many different, side hustles or entrepreneurial things. Um, Over the years, I've tried a lot of things, and some of them were very successful. Some of them were not. Um, I've done everything from multi-level marketing to flipping land to um, doing like flea market booths, trying to like resell furniture, you name it. Okay, I mean, I've been there, done that, and um, what I found though is that up until a couple of years ago, everything that I was doing, whether it was successful or not, was all consuming. It was taking up all my time. If I wanted to be make something successful, it was draining me of everything I had in order to make it successful. And so it was just kind of one of those things where I was like, I'm never accomplishing my goal. I don't have the freedom that I was looking for. And fast forward to about 2 years ago, I was um, just kind of at rock bottom. I was in a really bad place financially. We had accumulated a lot of debt. My wife was going through some medical issues, and we needed a way out. And so I saw some people posting on social media talking about digital marketing and, making money with 2 hours a day. And I was like, 2 hours a day sounds really nice. That's something that I could hang on to. But I was a little bit skeptical, like I'm sure a lot of you people are naturally. I mean, like I said, I've been around the block a few times and I've seen a lot of things. And so I was like, what's the catch here? Is this illegal? Is this a scam? Um, what is this about? And so I asked a lot of questions. I did a lot of research, and I actually liked the answers that I got. And I figured out this is actually a legitimate business model. If you know the right steps to take, it seems like just normal people are putting this step-by-step method into practice and having a lot of success. So I decided to give it a whirl, and took me about a week to get everything set up. I took a course to learn how to do it, set everything up, and then within 30 days after that, I had made $10,000. And I thought, if that's what happens in the first month, what happens if I keep going? What happens if I, keep working on this? And over the past 2.5 years, it's completely changed our life. I mean, we last year alone made over $500,000 just working a few hours a day and having complete time freedom. I set my own schedule. I can take time off when I need to. We travel a lot for my wife's medical appointments and stuff like that. And this has finally given us that freedom that I was looking for to where I can be able to focus on my family first. So I'm really passionate about helping other people understand how this works because it's not rocket science. And it's something that anybody can understand, anybody can do. Like I said, I learned how to do this in 1 week. So I know if I can do that, you can too. And that's what we're here to kind of help you understand it. So I want this to be an interactive time. Like I want you to be able to ask questions, get answers. I'm not gatekeeping. I'm not trying to keep any secrets from you at all. Um, so I'm just going to run through kind of the strategy and the basics of it and show you what this is like. and feel free to chime in if you guys have questions. Um, Silvio said a lot of promoters on Instagram make it sound a lot easier than what it is, and that's a valid statement. How many of you guys are on social media and your feed is inundated with people with these 6 second videos that are just like you can make $5,000 a week with 2 hours a day, and you're like, how? Like, somebody please explain to me, like, because it's always like this short little thing that doesn't really explain a whole lot. Um, so that's what we're here for. I'm gonna go try to break it down and actually help you guys understand what it looks like. Um, there's three pieces to the puzzle. Okay. So if you're taking notes, the three components that you need to be successful with this are a product. You need to have a product to sell, and it's got to be about something of value. You need to have a website where people can purchase it on the internet. Okay, so you've got to set up some type of a sales funnel where people can find your product and buy it. And then number three, you've actually got to get customers to go to your website. So you have to have traffic, people that are interested in that product finding your website. Okay. If you can put those three things together properly, then you've got a fully functioning business that'll make you a lot of money. All right. So I'll go a little bit more in detail on each of those three things so you understand how each of those components works, but that's the basic framework. Now, let's start with number one, the product. Okay. Put a one number one in the chat if you're like me and you've thought about selling something online and you're like, I just don't have any ideas. Like, I don't know what to sell. I don't have, some life-changing $1 million idea that I've just been waiting to put on the internet. And you're like, so what would I even do? That's where I was when I started this. I was like, I don't know. Um, so there's two different options you can do with your product. Okay, it's not too complicated. You don't have to, have some crazy invention. The two routes are affiliate marketing and selling digital products. Okay, affiliate marketing is basically anything in the world you can think of. You can partner with the company who created that product, and they'll pay you a commission for selling that product. Okay, so a lot of people do that. You'll see people on TikTok shop, you'll see people on Instagram. They're just basically being like, "Oh, I love this coffee mug, and you can buy it on this link," and they get like 5% or whatever, right? So that's affiliate marketing, and that can be digital or physical products. Digital products can be really anything. It's usually something educational. It's usually something that's going to teach somebody something or help them solve a problem. Maybe it's an ebook, maybe it's a course, maybe it's a template of some kind, or it could be just something as simple as a recipe, okay, or a recipe book. Um, so Julie asked, is a digital product usually a PDF or what format? So yes, PDF is one of the most common. But again, it could be like a video. It could be, it could be like a more complex thing with like combination of text and video, like an online course would be. So, but digital products, the advantage with that is that if you either own it yourself or you own the rights to that product, you can make 100% profit on every sale because there's no production costs, there's no shipping costs, there's no returns, there's no complications that come with physical products. So I really like digital products because it kind of eliminates half of the hassle of doing business. Um, yes, somebody asked if this is being recorded. It is being recorded, so I'll send out the recording after we're done. Um, so you can be very successful with either affiliate marketing or selling digital products, and there's honestly a lot of digital products out there that you can also be an affiliate for. Um, to kind of get the best of both worlds. But at the end of the day, the way that you choose a product is going to be based on number one, does it have value? Does it actually provide value? You can't just people talk about selling ice to an Eskimo. That's not reality. Like you've got to be able to sell something that is going to help the person or they feel like it's going to add value to their life in some way in order for them to give you money for it, right? So the top three categories for that are health, wealth, and relationships. The reason for that is that every human being has an interest in those three topics at some level, right? We all care about our health, we all care about our relationships, and we all need money, or at least we would like more money or whatever. So, um, those three are good places to start if you don't have anywhere to start. But I usually try to tell people think about like what are your interests? What are your passions, hobbies, experience? What do you know something about? Because you don't have to be an expert to be successful. You can sell a product that you really don't know a whole lot about, but it just makes it, I think it's easier for you to build a business on something that you do have an interest in. That way you're not just like completely in the dark or completely bored with whatever you're working with. So, um, now, how many of you guys are still sitting there thinking, how would I figure this out or make this decision or find a product to do this with? Um, Robert said, um, tried making PDFs after a couple of my posts went viral. Um, had one person sign up, was shocked to say the least. What do you think went wrong? So we'd have to do a deep dive to figure out what that was, Robert. I'm going to go in more depth on what a funnel needs to look like to be successful here in just a minute. So after we go through that, if you have any specific questions, we can chat more. Um, if you're like wondering how do you find a good product, I'm going to show you a couple places. It's really not that difficult. There's millions of options out there. But let me share my screen and just show you a couple places where you could start your search. All right, how many of you guys can see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can see where it says start, scale, and automate your business. Okay, so this is Digistore 24. This is just one of many websites out there that are basically what we call affiliate marketplaces, where people have put their products on here. It's free to sign up for this, and you can look through thousands of different product options that have already been created, that are already selling on the internet. People are already buying these. And just this one website alone has over 8,500 offers of different kinds. Okay, and you can just grab a link right off this website, start posting it, and if somebody buys it, you get a percentage of the sale. Okay, so it's a win-win for everybody. Um, this one website, I'm just showing you this as an example. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but you can see that there's just a lot of people who are succeeding just using stuff off of this website without even creating their own product. Okay, so like they have over 3 billion in sales processed, over 5.5 million products sold last year. So it's working. Now, this is just another option just to show you how many other places there are that you can find stuff like this. This is ClickBank, over $7.1 billion in commissions paid out to people who are selling products off of this website. Okay, so tons of opportunity here as well to find good products. And they're all different niches. Like there's actual physical products on these websites, there's digital products, and everything in between. Um, this is another option. This is a specific website called Entrepedia. And this is what we call private label rights or PLR. You might hear the term master resale rights. It's all kind of the same thing. Um, Private label rights is basically these are digital products that you can, there is a cost to actually sign up for Entrepedia, but you just pay a membership fee and then you can get all these digital products and have the full rights to put your name on it and sell it as if you created it yourself. Okay, so that's kind of like white labeling for physical goods. You can buy a water bottle, put your label on it, and call it, you know, Nita's spring water. Okay. Um, this is basically the same type of thing except with digital products. So you can grab an ebook on a certain topic, like you'll see uh, merch that sticks, mindfulness for creators. Like these are ebooks and courses and things that have already been created. You just put your name on it. You can edit it, add to it, whatever, and sell it as if you created it yourself. So there's a lot of different options that you can pull from. You don't have to be super creative. Any questions on the product side of things? Jesse said, my question is how to identify the highest selling item to sell. there's no item that's like the best. It's really like each person, like I said, it's kind of like what are you going to have the easiest time talking about and putting out there on social media? Um, two people might be trying to sell the same product and one person might do it better than the other, right? Or you can have um, you can have one product that is $500 that you're selling and you get three sales, that's $1,500 versus if you're selling a product for $9 and you sell 100, then you only made $900, right? So it's just kind of there's pros and cons to different things, but at the end of the day, anything works if you work it. So, um, let's talk about the second piece of the puzzle. Once you've identified your product, the second part is how do you actually sell that product effectively on the internet? Um, that's where the sales funnel comes in. Okay, so your sales funnel is basically just another word for a website. It's a series of web pages that help people make a decision of whether or not they want to buy your product and then give them an opportunity to buy that product. Okay, so um, the beauty of what I'm about to explain to you about these sales funnels, though, isn't so much about the technical aspects of like building a website and everything. The beauty of this is if you set this up correctly, you set up your sales funnel, then people should be able to, without you ever being involved at all, you set it up one time, and your sales funnel should live on the internet as a fully functioning automated system that sells for you so that you don't have to be the one going out there and convincing people to buy or even answering questions. People should be able to go on your website, get all the information that they need. And if they decide, hey, this is a good product, then they put in their credit card information. The money goes to your processing center where the money can be transferred to your bank account, and you did not have to do anything. You could be taking a nap the whole time and people can be purchasing your products and you're just waking up in the morning, picking up your phone, checking your email, seeing, oh, I got paid four times overnight because I have this fully functioning automated sales system that works for me on the internet. Okay. So that's what you are going to set up if you're doing this correctly. Um, Before I get into the details of that, how many of you guys are already starting to freak out because you're thinking, I don't have any tech skills. Building a website is not my wheelhouse. The thought of even building anything with technology sounds like extremely overwhelming. Um, and you're feeling like this isn't for you. Put a two in the chat if you're thinking any of those thoughts right now. Okay. I I definitely understand where you're coming from because that's how I felt. I had never taken a computer class before I started doing this. So the thought of creating my own website was completely out of the question. Um, but what I found out is that it's not as difficult as you would think. Um, Now, is there some learning to be done? Yes. You do have to learn some things. You have to be willing to learn a new skill, but you don't have to learn how to write code. You don't have to learn a new language. You don't have to spend a ton of time beating your head against a wall trying to like be Mark Zuckerberg and create some new app or something. Okay. Um, the tools that are available to us now in 2026 are astounding. Okay. I got started in 2023, at the end of 2023, and it's gotten even better since then. And I was able to set everything up in 1 week. Okay. So let me show you guys how this works so that you can understand that it's actually pretty accessible for the average person. Okay. Um, System.io is the website that I'm showing you on the screen right now. This is the exact same website platform that I used when I got started to build my first sales funnel. Okay. Um, what I love about System.io is number one, it's free. Okay. Now it's not completely free. They have paid tiers, but you can build your first funnel for free and you don't have to pay. Like it's not a free trial. It's like you can keep the free version for as long as you want it, run everything you need to do through this free platform. Okay. Now, what's really cool about System.io is that um, it's kind of an all-in-one platform. Okay, so you can set up your website, you can do your email automations, you can manage all of your contacts through here. You can even build your own course through this platform. You can run webinars. You can do all the things. Okay, you don't have to do all this, but it's just all there, so you don't have to like manage six different tech platforms. All right. But the best part about this is that when you're building a website, um, it's all template based. Okay, so trying to see if they have any pictures here. Um, doesn't look like they have specific pictures on here, but let me kind of let me log in so you can see some of the things that let's do sales funnels. I'll go to this example funnel. So when you're creating a sales funnel, um, you can just create a new step. We'll call this step one, and let's do a sales page. Okay, and you can just choose a template. And it brings up all these different templates of pre-built websites that are already done for you. So you don't have to be good at graphic design. You don't have to be good at like layouts or any of this stuff. It's just like honestly, like probably hundreds of different templates of different websites. You just find one that you kind of like the look of, and one that might kind of, if you're doing food, you could choose this barbecue one. Or if you're doing something more business related, you could do something like this one here. If you're doing like real estate, you could choose this home one, right? So depending on your topic, you just find one that kind of you like the look of. And then when you select it, now it's just an editable template. Okay. So everything in here, you can just click and edit the text, right? Find your happy home. Okay. You could change it out to whatever it is about the product that you're selling specifically. Okay. And then if you wanted to change out the picture, you can do that too. So in other words, all you have to be able to do is edit. You don't have to be great at tech. This doesn't require you to write any code. You can change all these things just by clicking a button. Okay. So um, that's System.io. And like I said, it's free to build your first funnel. So I really like that. It's great for beginners to be able to get up and running without breaking the bank. Um, like I said, there's a step-by-step process to this. I followed a course that walked me through exactly what to do through setting up System.io. So it literally showed me on the screen how to set up my account with System.io, what to click, what button to push to like do all the things I needed to do to get everything ready to go. Okay, so if you're willing to just kind of follow instructions like that, then the roadmap is there for you guys to be able to learn how to do this. Okay. Now, that's the funnel platform that I use. Let me explain to you what a high functioning sales funnel consists of. All right, so you can understand what this thing is that you're even creating. Okay. Number one, the core of the funnel is a sales page. Okay. So what I mean by sales page is it's a website where people go and it says this is what you're selling, and it's got some bullet points about the value or the benefits of what you're selling. And then it has maybe some frequently asked questions, maybe some testimonials if those are available, and then a place where people can put in their payment information to buy the product. Okay. So that's an order form um, for your product. Basically, anywhere you go on the internet to buy something, you guys are familiar with that, with what those sales pages look like, right? So that's the main core of your funnel. That's what I started with. I had a sales page, and then after you purchase, then it took you to a thank you page that says, thanks for your purchase. Here's how to access whatever it is that you bought. Okay. Whether it's a download or whatever, right? It gives people a button to download the product. Now, that's super basic. You can make really good money by just having that. What took me from $10,000 a month to $28,000 a month in the space of 30 days was when I added an additional step. Okay, the additional step that I added was before I just sent people to my sales page, I started offering something for free. Okay. And that's what we call a lead magnet or freebie. Essentially, you're giving somebody some free value, whether that's a quick PDF download or whether it's a discount code or something like that. You're giving something to somebody that has some value for free in exchange for them to join your email list. Okay, so how many of you guys have been to a website and the first thing that happens when you get on the website for the first time is a pop-up window comes up and says, "Hey, put in your name and email address and you get 10% off," or join our text subscription thing and you'll get a free something or other, right? Everybody does this now because it literally works really well. And here's why. Imagine for a second that um, that you're selling a product and your customer finds your website. Okay, they see your post on social media, they go to your website, they're reading about the product, and halfway through them reading about your product, their kid spills Kool-Aid on the sofa. Okay, they've got a nice white sofa and it's red Kool-Aid all over the sofa, and they're like, stop everything. Computer goes to the side. They're jumping to clean that up, and it takes them 30 minutes to get everything calmed back down. By the time that they finish up with that, they get back to their computer, they've moved on, they've forgotten about your product. Chances are they're probably never going to see it again. Okay. Now just imagine for a second that the first thing that they did when they got on your website instead of reading was putting in their name and email address because they were getting something for free. Now that entire scenario plays out, but tomorrow they get an automated email from you because they joined your email list that reminds them about your product and has a link back to your sales page. Now jogs their memory and they go, "Oh, I was so excited about that and I totally forgot about it, but here it is again. I'm going to go buy it now." Okay, so you see how much that can change the game because we're all super busy. We are all at this point have some type of attention deficit, okay? Whether it's, uh, physiological or just the nature of the busy world that we live in. We all have short attention spans. So having somebody join your email list changes the game when it comes to your conversion rates and the ability to make a lot of money. Um, so that's why when I started doing that, it took me from 10,000 to 30,000 in 1 month. All right. Now, just to back up and reiterate what this sales funnel looks like now. Now, the first step is you've got a landing page where somebody can put in their name and email address to get this free download. When they put in their name and email address, it takes them to the next page that says, "Hey, thanks for joining our email list. Here's the free download. And by the way, if you're interested in learning more about what I'm actually selling, here's the link to my sales page." Okay. Um, that's the basic structure of a high converting funnel. Now you can add additional steps. You can make it more fancy and do a lot of other things, but that's kind of the basic core strategy that I've used to build my business, and it's been very effective over the past 2.5 years for me. Um, Silvio asked, "Can you be successful without showing your face?" I'm going to get to that in just a second, Silvio. That's a fantastic question. Um, and the answer is yes, but I'll explain why. Um, and then I just saw Jesse ask me a question a minute ago. Can you push profits directly to a bank business account from this funnel? Yes. Um, Absolutely, you can. The System IO has native integrations with Stripe and PayPal both. So it's free to set up an account with Stripe and PayPal. In fact, inside of System IO, you just click on it, it'll take you to their page. You can create a free account really quickly using your business if you already have a business. And then once the account's set up, then any payments that go through System IO go directly to your account on either PayPal or Stripe. And you can do direct deposit to your bank account on autopilot from there. So, um, Gordon asked, what do you do with their emails? Okay, great question. So, inside of System IO, one of the things that I love about System IO is that it has a built-in automated email campaign feature so that you basically just click a button um, and you can have ChatGPT write up a bunch of marketing emails for you. It takes like 15 minutes to get ChatGPT to like create a whole email campaign for you. And I'm not good at writing emails, so like I love ChatGPT. It's my best friend when it comes to creating marketing content. You do not have to be creative to make money doing this, okay? Um, so uh, you basically just plug in a series of like 5 to 10 emails that have a timer set. So somebody puts in their name and email address, they click the submit button, System.io automatically adds them to that list, and then they start every single day, every 24 hours, they automatically get the next email in that series that you've pre-written already. So you can set this up one time and then literally forget about it, and it will automatically like nurture your customers and help you sell products. Okay. Um, no, you honestly, you can do this from anywhere in the world. The only difference in terms of how this operates, if you're in another country, is the payment platform that will be available for you and your bank. Okay, so PayPal and Stripe are very widespread. They're all over the world. But if for some reason you're in a country those are not available, then there's alternatives in your country that are available. System.io is actually not even a US based business. I want to say it's based in Ireland or something like that. But they have payment processors for all different countries around the world built in. So you just choose the one that is most common for your country, and you can run the exact same method as I do. Um, okay, now we talked about the product, we've talked about the funnel and how you set that up. Um, here's the thing. If you did all of that, you've got this most amazing product that everybody's super excited about, and you've got the best sales funnel in the world that's like literally the best website that anybody's ever seen. If you stop there, you make $0. Okay. Nobody's going to find your website automatically. Okay. The days of like getting on the top first page of Google using SEO are basically over. Um, Nobody's going to just find you by searching. Okay. So that leads us to the third component of this that is extremely important. And that is how do you get your target audience, people that are actually interested in what you're selling, to find your website? That's where social media comes in. And, um, and I'm going to talk to you about how we do that. Before I dive into that, I just have a quick question for you guys. Um, Quick survey. How many of you how many followers do you feel like you need to be successful making money on social media? Just make a guess in the chat. How many followers do you feel like you need to be successful? Next question is how much money on average do you feel like you need to spend on advertising to be successful selling something on social media? A lot of you guys are very wise. I see a couple people have said zero or none. And I didn't think that that was the case. I thought you had to have a lot of followers or that you at least needed to pay money or one or the other in order to be able to make significant income. Um, but as a few of you have realized, that's not actually the case. Okay. When I started doing this, I started off with a brand new social media account, brand new Instagram, zero followers. And after I launched, I made $10,000 in 30 days. And at the end of that 30 days, I still had less than 1,000 followers. Okay. So literally starting from scratch, I was able to make that much money. Now, that just proves that you don't have to have a lot of followers in order to make significant income. Now, a lot of people will look at me now and they say, he's got 182,000 followers on Instagram. Like of course he's making really good money, right? But the reason why you see a lot of people on social media with a lot of followers who are making a lot of money is because the followers and the money grow together. Okay. When you're doing the right things on social media, which I'm about to get into and explain to you guys, when you're doing the right things, the money grows and the followers grow at the same time. So, yes, if you're doing this over the period of 1 to 2 years, you're going to end up with a lot of followers. Okay. You're going to have that, but you don't have to have that in order to start making the money. All right. You can make a lot of money and then get the followers. And that's usually how it goes. Now, um, Jesse said, I'd say you need access to a large audience, lots of eyes. That, my friend, is accurate. And here's the difference. It's all about the Instagram algorithm, and TikTok is the same thing. Like, social media platforms in general. I say Instagram because that's my main platform that I use, but it's the same thing for all these different social media platforms. They have what's called an algorithm that is responsible for how many people see the posts that you post every day. Okay. So here's what a lot of people don't understand. When I have 182,000 followers. Okay. When I post on Instagram, I don't get 182,000 views because I have 182,000 followers. Sometimes I only get like 1,000 views. Okay. But sometimes I get 5 million views. That didn't have anything to do with my follower count. Okay. That had to do with the content that I posted and whether or not Instagram's algorithm decided that that content was relevant to show to a certain number of people or not. All right. And it's the same thing if you have 0 followers. If you have 0 followers, you can put up a post on Instagram and you can get 0 views. Actually, you can't. It will show it to probably at least 100 people. Um, you can get 100 views or you can get 1 million views, depending on the content that you post. Okay. What's really interesting is that if you understand that these algorithms are literally designed to connect people with the content that they are interested in, then you start to understand the power of the social media platforms and using it as a marketing tool. All you have to do with social media to be successful is post consistently content about a certain topic using the same keywords, being repetitive until the Instagram algorithm starts to learn what you're talking about. What is your theme? What is the point of what you're trying to talk about every single day, day in and day out? If you're consistent with that, it gets really fine-tuned to the point where it starts to know exactly what you're talking about. And then it has a database on billions, literally billions of people that are on this social media platform that it has data on every single one of them. It knows how long they watched that cat video yesterday. It knows whether or not they liked or commented or saved or shared every piece of content that they have ever looked at on this platform. And it knows if they're interested in pool cleaning equipment or if they're interested in designer high heels or if they're interested in whatever. Okay. So out of these billions of people, that's your audience is billions of people just by nature of being on Instagram. If you start posting consistently about a certain topic, that algorithm is going to automatically start showing your content to the people that have already expressed interest in that thing. Okay, so you don't have to do the hard work of figuring out a big ad campaign and paying money to somebody to show your stuff to people. All you have to do is stay consistent posting about a certain topic and obviously doing it in a way that attracts people's attention. Um, but that's all you have to do. And the algorithm will go to work for you to bring you the people that are interested. So, um, let me explain a little bit more in detail how I do that. Okay. First of all, it's my strategy has been based around posting 3 reels a day. Okay. 3 short videos, usually around 7 seconds, that doesn't even usually involve me talking at all. It's usually just a video of me doing something random and a short little hook. It's the text that goes on the like overlay on the video, and then a caption that explains a little bit more about whatever the topic is. Okay. Now, get people to comment in order to find out more or get the free thing that I'm offering. Um, and I just post 3 times a day every day. And over time, some videos do good, some videos do bad. It's all about the numbers. If you're posting 3 times a day consistently, over time, something's going to take off. Okay, if you're doing this correctly. So, uh, all it takes is one video. All right, I gained 40,000 followers from one Instagram video. Okay, that one video, I don't even know what made it take off. I couldn't tell you like it wasn't some secret sauce. I had posted a lot of videos like that before. I've posted a lot of videos like that since that haven't done as well. But the reason why I was successful was because I posted day in and day out for a long period of time, and I posted enough to where something took off. Okay. So here's the thing. If you set up your funnel correctly, if you've got a good product that provides value, you set up a good funnel that helps people understand the value of your product and gives them an opportunity to pay for it, and then you post consistently about whatever that problem is that you're solving or whatever the solution is that you're offering, you just send people to your website. The funnel takes it from there. Maybe they get an email campaign or whatever. They come back and they buy your product. It's just a numbers game. So the nice thing is, though, is all you have to do once you set this stuff up is post 3 times a day. And that's where we talk about the 2 hours a day. It takes 2 hours a day if you're doing this right to like create that content, post it on social media, and then you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And is this an overnight get rich quick scheme? Absolutely not. Okay. I try to be extremely transparent with people because there is a lot of posting online and even the stuff that I post, I'm sure like it makes it seem easier than it is. Okay. Um, at the end of the day, like it's not a get rich quick because it takes time for this to take off usually. Okay, even for me, my success story, I made $10,000 in my first 30 days. That's my story, but I'm very realistic about the fact that that doesn't happen for everybody. Okay, this is not something that's like you're guaranteed to make $10,000 in your first month or even your first 3 months. But what I do know from having done this and ha from having showed hundreds of people how to do this and seeing how it plays out is that if you stick with your daily checklist and you put in the effort and energy consistently over time, eventually it will work. Eventually it'll take off. Now, I can't tell if that's going to be 1 week or if that's going to be 6 months before you're like making $10,000 a month. I don't know. But I do know that it works if you stay consistent over time. And that's, a lot of people will ask me, well, if it's so easy and if it's so like doable, then why don't more people do it? And I can answer that question for you. Um, the reason that more people don't do this is that very few people in this day and age are willing or able to put in 2 hours a day for a period of like a couple months before they see the big result. Okay. Most people don't have that kind of work ethic or consistency or um, just muscle to be able to like stay consistent with something that they're not getting paid up front to do. Most of us are used to a job where we show up for 8 hours and we get paid for 8 hours. This is not that. Okay. You're not going to put in 8 hours of work and get paid for 8 hours of work with this. You're going to put in a lot of hours of work without getting paid anything. But then eventually you start getting paid way more than you'd ever make for 2 hours a day if you stick with it long enough. Okay. So I make over $50,000 a month at this point for putting in a few hours a day. All right. There's no job that I could go get that would pay me that much money unless I was like the CEO of some big company or, something crazy like that. All right. So is it worth it? Absolutely, it's worth it. But if you're only willing to put in 2 weeks of work, it's not going to be worth it. You're going to waste your time. Okay. Don't expect to make $50,000 after 2 weeks, but give this a year and that's actually realistic. So, um, anyway, I share all that because this has completely changed my life. I'm going to answer a couple of you guys' questions, and then I'm going to show you some opportunities of how you can go a little bit deeper than what we've done here tonight. Um, Julie said, did you have a brand in mind when you first started, or is this not important? Do you usually post at the same time each day? It's really not important to have a brand in mind. A lot of people get super hung up on the whole like niche and brand and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, find a good product. It doesn't matter. Like you don't need to like worry about your brand image or, coming up with something crazy. Um, just find a good product that solves a good problem, not a good problem, a good product that solves a problem well. and people are going to be willing to pay you for that because everybody's got problems, everybody needs solutions. So if you're able to connect those dots, that's where the money's made. Um, to answer your question about posting, the time of day doesn't matter a whole lot as long as it's like normal waking hours. Okay, so my usual recommendation is like breakfast, lunch, and dinner time. We're all in different time zones, so it's not like you need to post at like 12 p.m. on the dot because like that's 1 p.m. on the East Coast or 11 p.m. on the West Coast, depending on where you are, right? So um, just sometime normal hours during the day. Robert said, I found that posting on IG 3 times a day didn't work for me. Barely have any followers. Posting on TikTok the same amount of time gave me 27,000 followers. Honestly, I know I'm not doing it right on IG. I need to find the right product, which I feel I don't have at this time. Yeah. And so what's really interesting, Robert, is that like there's this back and forth with TikTok and Instagram, even for me. Sometimes Instagram's taken off and it's the one that's like getting me the most traffic. Sometimes TikTok's the one that's going crazy and giving me the most traffic. I post on both because it just doubles my chances. And usually the like when one's doing well, the other one's not. When the other one, it gives me that balance. So I post the exact same thing on both just to maximize my presence online. Um, Gordon asked, what level are your business expenses monthly? I love this question because when I first started, I was doing everything possible for free because I didn't have the money to throw at this. Okay, which is one of the reasons why System.io I love so much because it gives you that option. The only thing you do have to worry about financially with that is you got to buy a website domain and a professional email address. So basically, just like yourbusinessname.com and an email address that says info@yourbusinessname.com. Okay. That costs about 50 bucks or 40 bucks through GoDaddy for a full 12 months. Okay. So $50 is all you really need to get your business up and running and make it work. Now, I've invested in a lot of additional tools and automations and subscriptions just to make life easier over time. Um, you know, so as you scale, there's things that can help you to scale more and more, but you don't need all that stuff to be successful. I made my first $10,000 paying that 50 bucks one time. Um, let's see. Mm-mm-mm. Nita said it's so easy to overthink this, which is what I've been doing. Yeah, it is. It's very easy to overcomplicate this, and that's what keeps a lot of people hung up because it's just there's so much information out there, first of all, and there's so many different options and so many different directions you can go. Um, but my recommendation is just choose one, stick with it, stay consistent, and you'll be successful. Um, let's see. Sylvia said, "Why do I get the feeling that most of the promoters of digital marketing make their money more from selling their course than from the actual business?" I can explain that to you, Silvio, very clearly. Um, the reason why you feel that way is partly because the only people that are out there talking about how much money they're making are selling a course on how to do it. If you're selling tennis shoes, why would you ever post about how much money you made, right? You're not going to. You're just selling tennis shoes. So you're not going to see how much money people are making when they're not selling courses. The people that are talking about how much money they're making are selling courses. So you're 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 only seeing the one small sliver of the pie, and that's correlated for a reason because that's what the marketing is all about. But there's tons of people out there that are making a fortune without selling courses on how to do this. Um, let's see. Robert said, so once we find the product, do we just keep posting about it 3 times a day, the same product over and over? Um, Not necessarily about the product. You don't want to just sit there and be like, hey, this is what I'm selling over and over and over again. You're going to be talking about the problem that your product solves. You're going to be talking about the common questions and the common pain points that people have that might be interested in your product. Give you an example. Um, if your product was how to how to build your first home, Like it was kind of a manual on how to build your first home. Your videos every day might be little like minute pieces of that, like showing like a video of like a cracked foundation being like, bet you didn't know that like this could happen in a year after you build your house if you don't do it right. I'm just making something up, but you get my idea, right? You're posting about kind of like the things that you're trying to address with your product, not the product itself. But yes, you post about that stuff 3 times a day, every day. Okay. Gordon asked a question. I'm gonna go in a little bit really quick to talk about and show you guys a course that I recommend that I offer on how to learn how to do this in detail. Okay. Um, again, I'm here on this webinar just to give you free value, help you understand what this is like on a basic level so you can decide if you even want to get into this. But I've given you enough information to where you guys could go out there, apply what I've learned, do your own research, figure it out, and go. All right. You don't have to buy a course. Um, I will tell you that if I would have done that myself, I probably would have spent like six to 12 months spinning my wheels trying to figure everything out and put the pieces together using all the crazy, like overwhelming amount of information that's on the internet. And I probably wouldn't have stuck with it because I would have been scattered and overwhelmed. Okay. So that's just me. I'm really thankful that I took a course because I could literally just follow the step by step for 1 week, get everything up and running and go. Um, so I'm going to show you guys an option for that. And I'm the type of person where it kind of bothers me that there's a lot of people out there selling courses. You don't know at all what you're getting until you've already paid the money and you look inside. And I've been burnt personally on that a couple times where like I spent money on a course and once I was inside, I couldn't get a refund and the course was just garbage and it was like nothing. And I was like, okay, well, there's that money's down the drain. Um, so because I come from that background, I'm going to give you guys actually a look behind the curtain so you can see the course that I'm offering, look at what's involved, kind of get a feel for it before you even decide if you want to purchase it. Sound good? So let me share my screen and pull this up. Okay. This is Digital Wealth Academy. Okay, this is kind of the back end of it. Once you actually are inside the course, there's a community tab that has a bunch of other people in the community that are going through this. And you'll see some testimonials here of people who are going through the course. These are just, this one's from 2 hours ago, 12 days ago, from 10 hours ago. So there's a lot of people that are having a lot of success going through this course, and you can see real people getting real results. The course itself is in the classroom tab, okay? And each one of these little blocks that you see here, these are each a module, okay? A module contains a whole bunch of lessons and video content. And you can see each one of these is a module, okay? So there's a ton of information in this course. It's not just like 3 videos about mindset and then you're done, okay? Um, if we go to let me go down to the System IO module since you guys are familiar with that a little bit since I just talked about it. This is the module on System IO. And when you start off at the beginning, welcome to System IO module. Each of these videos is anywhere from 30 seconds to maybe a few minutes. Okay. None of these are like lecture length things. They're very bite-sized. The reason I point that out is that it's very easy for you to just kind of check in for 10, 15 minutes, do a step, and then walk away and go back to your life and come back to it and pick up where you left off. Okay. It's great for people who have a busy lifestyle because it's in bite-sized chunks that you can just do as you have time. All right. So each one of these videos, like you can see, this one's a minute long. If I play the video, it's just going to take you through on the screen.
So first things first is we do have to create a free System IO account. If you were invited to DWA by someone who does not use System IO, that is okay. You can click the link below to create a free account. It will to your business that you like to sell. You may need to upgrade it at a later point.
So she's literally walking you through on the screen, like how to set up your free account. Okay. And everything from creating the account on System IO to creating a logo for your business, which you don't even have to do, but it teaches you how to in case you want to. How to buy your domain and email from GoDaddy. That's the thing I mentioned that costs $50 for the year. So it walks you through how to do that, how to get your website domain. Then it talks you through how to connect it to System.io, and it's showing you on the screen. So you don't have to do the guesswork. Like you can literally just have your computer open, follow the steps, pause it, do what she said to do, and then go to the next step. Okay. So I love that because it walks you through all these steps all the way through here. By the end of it, you've got your funnel up and running and everything's put together. Okay. So this is just one module on System.io. Now there's all these other modules on everything from how to do email marketing here. This teaches you how to set up an email campaign and how to like create your emails. Um, Goes through principles of like attraction marketing, how to use stories on Instagram, done for you reels. If you like want to just pull reels off of here, you can grab done for you ones. Um, there's a whole module on how to use Instagram and all the different things that Instagram offers. So if you're like illiterate on social media and you don't know how to use these platforms at all, this course you can come to this module and it'll like kind of walk you through the basics of that specific thing. Okay, if you're a dude like me, there's a whole module specifically on men's digital marketing. If you want to kind of dive in on how specifically males can go about this. If you're a female, then you're in the right place because a lot of what is in this course is taught by females, and it's a lot of it is already going to give you some perspective on that. So, um, let's see. Let's go to the next page because there's more to it than just these. This is some really cool stuff that's just been added recently to the course about artificial intelligence. Okay. So everything AI, how to 10x your business with AI. And then these two are really cool. Build your AI persona parts one and two. What does that mean? Building an AI persona is if you want to go the faceless route where you're not showing your face on social media, these modules will walk you through step by step how to create a fictitious personality that can be in your videos for you and basically act like a real person, but it's just computer generated. All right. So these days it's kind of scary because you can't tell the difference between a real person and a fake person. If you want to go that route, it'll show you how to do that, and it's pretty awesome what you can do. Um, there's also a whole module here on specifically affiliate marketing if you want to get into the affiliate marketing side of things. That's in here. TikTok Shop specifically is taught about in this module. And you can see there's stuff about Amazon, specifically stuff for YouTube, print on demand. There's more in here than you need. Okay. So I'm going to stop here for just a second because as you can see, there's a ton of information. The nice thing is that you don't have to go through all this. Okay. You're just going to follow through those first few modules in the beginning to get the basics set up and running. And then if you want to go through some of the other modules that are specific to what you're doing, you can learn more, you can get better at your craft, you can just kind of do continuing education. But the most important stuff, the basics of getting everything set up and running are in those first few modules. And then you can just kind of launch and get out there and start working it. So that's Digital Wealth Academy. Um, that entire course is a one-time cost for life of $497. Okay, so it's very accessible. There's payment plans as well if you want to break that up over time. You can start if you're in the US, you can start it for as little as $43 a month. Um, and it's continually updated. Okay, so there's constantly new material being added. As things change on the internet and new technology comes out, new modules are constantly added. So it's an ongoing thing, but you never have to pay additional money to get the new content. Okay. So that's what I love about Digital Wealth Academy. Um, the other thing about Digital Wealth Academy is if you do want to sell the course yourself, you can resell it as an affiliate and make 85% profit. Okay. That's not the purpose of the course. So I'm not saying you should do that or that you have to do that at all, but it is an option if down the road you decide you want to turn around and sell that as one of your products, you have that option. Um, so Robert said, how do you get your affiliate number once signed up? It's really super simple. There's a module called DWA Affiliate Program, and it walks you through in like 5 minutes. You can have your affiliate link for Digital Wealth Academy if you decide to go that route. Um, now, one other option. If you guys want to get into Digital Wealth Academy, I'll put the link here in the chat. This is my affiliate link. So full disclosure, like I do get a commission if you buy through this link. Um, but I haven't seen any better course on the internet for how to learn how to do this. So that's the link to get started with Digital Wealth Academy. If you want to use a payment plan, there are payment plans available. The best options for that are not available on that link. So if you want a payment plan, then just text me the word payment plan to my phone number, which is 504-402-8266. I just put that in the chat as well. And I'll send you a link to and instructions for how to get the payment plan options. Um, Last thing I'm going to mention is that I had a lot of people who've come to me starting, I don't know, maybe about a year and a half ago, and they were just like, listen, the course is great. Digital Wealth Academy is awesome, but I just don't want to have to watch a ton of videos and try to sort through all the information and put the pieces together. Can you just walk me through it yourself and show me what to do step by step? And I was like, sure, I could do that. It's going to take me a ton of time. Um, so I created a program specifically for people who want to do that. Okay. If you want me to just personally walk you through every piece of this puzzle, tailored for you one-on-one to where like I help you decide on what product is best for you to sell. I help you build your funnel around that product. I help you write your email campaigns. I help you set up your automations. I help you create your social media accounts. And then I teach you how to post and what to post and help you through your entire launch. That's my Elite Mentorship program. And I do that one-on-one with you over Zoom, and you get unlimited text and email support for 12 months. Okay. If you decide to go that route, um, it is a little bit more pricey than the Digital Wealth Academy because it's just obviously like taking a ton of my time. But that option is available. I also have an option to build it all for you. Okay. And I would actually literally build your funnel, um, get everything put together for you, hand you the keys to a business that you can then turn around and run. Okay. And then I would mentor you through that process as well. So those are there's different options available for that. I have limited availability on some of this stuff because it is again very time consuming. But I do have a couple spots open right now. If you guys want to talk to me about that, um, text me on my phone number. Just text me the word elite, and we can chat about if that's a good fit for you. Okay. I don't necessarily take on everybody for the elite program because I want to make sure it's going to be what you need and the most beneficial option for you. So we can definitely chat about it and see if it's something that you want to do. But if that's of interest, just text the word elite to my phone number. Um, any other questions that you guys have about anything that we've covered tonight? Robert asked if there's a payment plan for the elite program. Yes, there is. I've got payment plans for the elite program starting at 173 a month. Silvio asked if we choose the DWA course, am I still available for questions? Not at the same high level as if you were doing the elite mentorship. Um, if you're like up against a wall and you're stuck and you can't figure something out that you would need, like how to log into the course or how to get over some major hurdle or something that's keeping you stuck, then yeah, I'm not gonna ghost you. I'll try to help you if I can. But I'm just not gonna be as available to give you full-on mentorship like I do for my elite students. Awesome, Jesse. I'm glad you were able to get some value out of it. Definitely enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Um, you guys have any other questions about anything? I've got a little bit of time here if you guys want to ask me more questions, more detail about anything that we talked about. Yeah, absolutely, David. Thanks for hopping on. Absolutely. Gordon, yeah, I used to do MLM. So yeah, I've definitely done that for myself. I've helped other people do that as well. Um, if that's something that you're interested in taking a look at, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. Jesse asked if I've sold products from the three sites that I mentioned successfully. Um, and is there a way to vet the products before you put your name on them? Yes, I personally have not used the three sites that I mentioned. I've gotten my products from other places. Um, but what I like about Digistore 24 and ClickBank is they do have data on the products that tells you like um, not on every product, but on a lot of the products, it'll tell you like the conversion rate for their sales page that they have. It'll tell you um, like how many of it sold and stuff like that. So it'll give you some data points to where you can kind of have an idea of like the effectiveness of that product on the market. And yeah, Nita, I'll definitely tell Danielle you said hello for sure. But yeah, guys, I mean, if you guys don't have any other questions, like I said, I'm happy to answer any other questions you have. Um, my my final words to you all is this. I was scared to start this. Okay, I didn't know it was going to be successful when I got into it. I had a lot of skepticism, even still at the time that I started. But for me, it's completely changed my life, and it's been the best thing that I ever did. You know, I spent $500 on a course to learn how to do this, and it's the best $500 I ever spent. Um, I just know that as long as you're willing to put in a couple hours a day for the long haul, you know, for a few months, make sure that that's where your head's at because you want to have proper expectations so that you're not feeling like a failure after a week when nothing happens. Okay, it's a process, but if you've got that long-term vision, then the upside is massive and it's a snowball effect. Once you get that first video or two that takes off, everything gets easier from there and you can scale it really easily. So, um, highly recommend getting into this if you're looking for a way to make extra money. Whether you choose to purchase a course or try to figure it out on your own, um, Godspeed to you and just give it a shot because it's definitely worth it. Let's see. CK said, "What about the tax side of things? Is there any GST or anything with what you're selling?" Um, so obviously the taxes is going to be dependent upon where you live. So whether you're in the US or Canada or some other country, those tax laws vary from country to country or even from state to state um, within the US. But so you're going to have to do a little bit of the research to kind of figure out what for your product, what are the laws that apply to that thing and how much tax you have to pay. um, or charge your customers or whatever. Physical products, generally, I will say, like in general, physical products tend to be more stuff that you have to like charge sales tax for. Um, but it's usually like for me, I'll just give myself as an example. My understanding is if you're selling a product to somebody who lives in the same state as you in the United States, then that's when you'd have to charge sales tax. If they live in a state where you don't have a business presence, you don't have to charge sales tax. Okay. So I'm not saying that's a blanket rule. Maybe that's specific to my state or whatever, but um, very rarely do I have to worry about sales tax. But obviously, we all have to pay income tax. You know, that's a part of life. You can't avoid that. So. Any other questions you guys have? Oh, Jennifer, sorry, I missed your question. Are your 3 videos a day for each product you sell? Not necessarily. If you've got multiple products within the same category, on that you're using the same social media platform to post about or to drive traffic from, then you just post 3 times a day per social media account. You definitely don't have to, like, if you've got 3 products you're selling, you don't have to post 9 times a day. That would be a little bit crazy. Um, so yeah, I sell probably 12 different things, but I sell all of it through one account. So I try to post 3 times a day. Alex, so that's gonna vary as well depending on how you want to structure it. So you can file as a sole proprietor, self-employed, the same way you would if you like were selling donuts out of your garage. It's the same type of thing. Or you can set up an LLC, or you can set up an actual corporation, depending on how you want to structure it for yourself. The more money you make, the more it makes sense to structure as a business, like a corporation or something like that. Especially when you're making like multiple 6 figures, there's some tax benefits of creating a corporation structure, but um, there's no reason why you can't also just do it as a sole proprietor as well. Any other questions? The cool part on the tax side of things is that because it's a home-based business, you can write off a ton of stuff. So you can write off your cell phone bill, you can write off home internet, you can write off your home office, you can write off a lot of your, travel and different stuff that you're doing. If you can find ways to like incorporate business into it, which is easy to do when you're doing stuff like this. Yeah, absolutely, Cindy. Thanks for getting on. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, unless you have any other questions, it's been really fun hanging out with you and sharing a little bit about this. So hopefully, if you guys decide to get into this, then I'll be hearing more from you here in the future. But um, if you do have any other questions, follow-ups, you've got my cell phone number. I put it in the chat. Feel free to text me, and I promise you won't get any spam texts. I don't have any bots or people that text from my phone, so you'll just get me. But yeah, God bless you guys. Hopefully, you have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk soon. Take care.